The Paranormal Project Radio Show. Here are your hosts, Scott Allen and Christina Bowen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Paranormal Project Radio Show. My name is Scott Allen. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Christina Bowen. How are you, my friend?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. Are you all ready for Christmas?
No, never.
Yeah, I know. Right up to the last minute. This is the second show we've done today. We recorded our show for next week. We're going to have Jeff Belanger with us, but we recorded that show today. So we're not going to be live next week, but we're going to have a great show for you in between Christmas and New Year. So you don't want to miss that. But we have two great guests tonight, the Klinge Brothers, Barry and Brad from Texas, and they run the Lonestar Paracon. And of course, we know they had the show years ago, Ghost Lab, which they're known for. And we're going to bring them out here in a minute. So because we're going to be there, you're going to be there, and the girls are going to be there, and looking forward to all the activities that are going to be going on down in that neck of the woods. So Barry and Brad, come on out. There you go. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you again. Thanks for coming back and being on with us.
Thanks for having us.
Is this the first Paracon that you put on, the Lone Star? Is this the first time you put it on, or is this
technically no? We did another one. What 5-6 years ago, Brad?
2011. We called that one Phantom Fest. It was downtown San Antonio, the whole thing at the Minger Hotel. But this one, this is right in our hometown, right where we grew up.
Oh, this is in, what's the name of the town? Is it Hirsch?
Shirts.
Shirts. That's
like
it.
Shirts.
Yep.
It's not spelled that way. Spelled the German way with the SH and the Z.
Yeah, but it looks like it's going to be a good time. I mean, really, you got a lot of good guests lined up, and you got the VIP stuff going on. And what can people expect if they're showing up?
Well, if hopefully you got on the VIP list, I think the VIP sold out within like a week or two.
I took the last ticket, I think.
You did. That's right.
Yeah.
That's not. Now I do remember you did take the last ticket, so you're the blame for everybody else that can't get in.
That's it. Sorry, guys.
And you guys really know how to do VIPs. I mean, y'all don't do this just a little bit.
No, I think that comes from us. We've been to VIP, being other events and VIP guests or whatever, the lecturers or speakers. And I've always, when we do ours, I just want to get your bang for your buck. San Antonio, the Texas hospitality on the Riverwalk, and we really want to showcase. We have a lot of people coming from the north, people that have never been to Texas, and even the West Coast, even overseas. We have people coming from Australia, people coming from London. That we want to show off Texas. So the VIP, we're going to do it up right, San Antonio style. We're going to take you downtown on the actual 50. We have 2 50-passenger tour buses. We're going to load up in shirts. We're going to take you down first class. We're going to go to Casa Rio Mexican restaurant, which is a very famous. Actually, it's the first restaurant on the Riverwalk back when it was built back in the
1948.
Yeah, 1948.
Oh, wow.
It's been in existence, and this place is really cool. We're going to have mariachis there when you come off the bus. So welcome you to San Antonio. We're going to full spread fajita enchilada buffet with bar drinks and having it all overlooks the Riverwalk. I think hopefully the lights will still be up from Christmas.
That'd be
really pretty
beautiful.
down there. After we have a huge meal, we're going to stroll on out to the Riverwalk. Right there, the restaurant, we're going to have 3 river barges pull up, and they're going to pick us up and take us on a city tour on the river. You'll get to see all the historical places and restaurants and bars, and see the lights and get the story from the guide of what San Antonio is all about. We'll come back, and it doesn't stop. We keep going. We're gonna walk from there about 2 blocks to the Alamo, and we're going to do a little walking ghost tour in Alamo Plaza. There's a few spots. We'll go there, and then we're going to get back on the bus. And there's a couple of spots we're going to stop on the bus that are haunted and have real great stories. Brad and I will be running that. And then we'll return the shirts, I don't know, about 11 o'clock at night. And then the next day, it all kicks off on Saturday.
The big party. Yeah.
The big party, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's the VIP. Hopefully, like I said, you got a ticket. Hopefully you'll be there. We try to cram as many people as we could into it. But we're only limited to so many seats at the restaurant.
Right.
So we had to taper it off.
Well, that's our problem too. Is a lot of time when we put these VIPs out, people want to do the full thing because we to our downfall, we don't really charge a lot for these things. It's like we look at the price and go, well, what's it going to cover the cost and break even and all that kind of stuff. And people just eat them up. And then, a lot of people get upset. It's like, well, I wanted to do the VIP too.
Yeah.
So much room.
You've got to jump on it fast.
300 people. So we do have to cut it off, but we keep adding things on. We're like, hey, let's do a river tour. Hey, let's do a downtown tour. Hey, let's do all this kind of stuff. And we want people to have a good time. Like Barry said, get the most bang for your buck. But it's definitely going to be done up right. We've been to a lot of these events where they have a VIP, and it's basically maybe like a pizza dinner, and you get early or something like that. It's like, no, you are treated like a VIP on our events.
That's great.
Fun.
I've been to one that literally they warmed up hot dogs, and that was the VIP meal.
That's our next year's event. We're going to be warming up hot dogs.
Hot dogs on the Riverwalk. Sounds great.
That's the LIP event, the least important person.
Yeah. Right. You can start selling tickets to that, the LIP event. Oh my gosh. So
Dana says hi.
Dana says hi. I see.
Hello, Dana.
Yeah,
She said she's going to harass us. I said we harass back, so watch out.
Yeah.
There you go. What is the vibe in San Antonio? Is it more country western or more southwest? What is the? I've never been to that part of Texas.
Huge Hispanic culture here, and we're 2 hours from Mexico. We're considered South Central Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. San Antonio's a huge medical place. It's a huge military town. We have like 5 military bases here in town.
Wow.
Lots of recreation. We have lakes, and we have SeaWorld. We have Fiesta Texas. We have a lot of pretty much. I think we'll be like in the top 10. I think of
we're the number one tourist
cities in the country
in Texas. Yeah. And then
wow.
we're up there. But I mean, if you want to talk about a vibe, you want to talk about that kind of vibe, Hispanic, and we have our honky tonks and country western places and stuff like that. So it's probably a mix of those two.
Yeah.
If I was to put my finger on it,
we call it Tex-Mex. Even the food you'll get is fairly authentic, but we call it Tex-Mex.
Right.
It has a twist.
Yes.
So Friday is that VIP tour that you were talking about, and when does that start? Is that just in the evening, right?
Yeah, just in the evening. We'll leave in a bus about 5 p.m. Get down to the Riverwalk. We'll be eating from 5:45 to 7:45. Get on a riverboat at about 8. That's about an hour cruise, and then about 9:15 we'll start the walking tour. Hopefully wrap up. Be back 11:20, some back like that. Back at Shirts. We're actually picking up and dropping off at the convention center where the Saturday event will be taking place. So people will be familiar with where to go the next day that are VIPs. And also the VIPs the next morning, they're actually going to get exclusive access to the vendor area from 8 to 9. So they're going to get in an hour early before the public. The public starts to get in at 9. So from 8 to 9, they'll have access to that. And as well on the lectures, part of that VIP ticket was the lecture and the speaker portion of it. They're going to get front row seating for that, preferred seating. So they'll have the run of the place being a VIP. And then what's cool about Saturday event is free. It's free to the public. People come out and just come check out the vendors, check out the celebrities, we have authors and psychics and people selling, jewelry and candles and just smorgasbord of different things going on the vendor hall. And as well, you can purchase speaker only tickets for $40 if you like to go listen to the speaker. So it's a low ticket item. It's nothing that's going to break the bank. We're allowing you to come in for free because we like you to have money in your pocket to spend on the vendors. A lot of these events we go to, you're spending $60, $80 at the door
just to get in.
and you
Just to
get
get
in,
in.
you're like, now what? I got no money to spend on anything. So,
well, not only that, but if you have a family of 5 or 6, you don't want to be dropping $300-400 for tickets for everyone, and then you show up and then you're
Right.
really out of luck. So
Yeah.
family friendly. Bring your your kids, your cousins. We want everyone in there. For one, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of paranormal stuff is typically in like the Northeast and the Midwest. Like
Yes.
that's where
Mhm.
a lot of the paranormal conventions and the paranormal the locations. You don't see a lot of that stuff down here in San Antonio. So a lot of the people down here don't get exposed to some of the people they see on TV, unlike the Midwest and the Northeast Paracons, where they're there all the time.
Mhm.
And we have a mix of people. It's we have like Jason Hawes, of course. Everyone
Right.
knows him. But then we have the
Love
a couple of Skinwalker Ranch one of the guys that's on Skinwalker Ranch, and one of the producers of Skinwalker Ranch to talk about that whole thing. That was a very popular show. We have an alien abductee who has the craziest story you've ever heard, like crazy believable story.
Wow.
I was just drawn in from the moment I met. We've actually had some experiences with him as well, of our own, and
Oh, wow.
just a wide variety. And Richard E. Stepp, the author, he's going to be there with all his books, and just a lot of varying type people, and just a lot of fun. A lot of people that people around here don't get exposed to.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. So
It's gonna be great.
it's generating excitement. I know your vendor hall is going to be packed.
we are, in fact, so Brad, today we're 2 booths away from being sold out. So we have about almost 60 booths. We have
Wow.
a huge banquet room. We have a smaller side room. It's completely full. We'll have a full snack bar there for everybody. You don't have to leave. Once you come in there, you don't have to leave. The food's there. The entertainment's there. It's all there.
Awesome.
We've sold out the Saturday Night Investigation with Shane Pittman and Aaron Sagers. That sold out a long time ago. The Solstice Sisters Sunday, we're about halfway there. We got about 10 tickets left, and we'd like to plug that for Sunday. We're not just stopping Saturday. We're going all the way to Sunday. You can come down to what's called we call the Beauregard Mansion. It's this huge mansion in the middle of King William District, which is downtown, very old German neighborhood, huge houses, huge homes, a lot of entertainment, but there's a lot of bars and restaurants down that area. Super haunted. We've done several events. We've done investigations there. We've done some. You can see a video on our actual website, klingebros.com, of the mansion, of what it's all about and the story behind it. Solstice Sisters are going to be there that Sunday. They're going to be demonstrating what they do, talking about what they do, as well as giving out healings and selling products and doing readings and things like that.
And
We'll have some
brunchy stuff, right?
Yeah.
We have a brunchy
Witchy
stuff
stuff.
down there.
Yeah, brunchy
Yeah,
stuff,
witchy
so
stuff.
that you hold your finger up when you talk to them. And we're going to have some light foods and some drinks and some beverages. And it's going to be just a kind of relaxing metaphysical event. That's on Sunday. I think it starts at 11. It goes till 2. But you have the option if you want to do a reading, if you want to do a healing, if you want to do whatever that they have to offer, you can stay afterwards and do that. But that's the Solstice Sister Sunday. That's a separate ticket item. It's only $20 or $25. We got 10 tickets left, so we want to fill that up here pretty quick, and that'll be sold out. And then
Are there vendors there? There's no vendor. Oh, there are vendors.
No. There's no vendors there.
No. Okay.
It's
There's
just
no
the Solstice Sisters.
Just you, ladies.
You're welcome to
And
come
you
over.
guys.
If they could tolerate you, Scott, they'll invite you over.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
He can really get on your nerves. I mean, 30 minutes and I'm already over it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and the one other thing that we were after Christmas, Barry and I are really going to start pushing locally, to get the local people out for the free, the free tickets and come in. But one of the things that this whole thing is any profit that we make after all the expenses goes to Special Olympics, and it goes to Special Olympics. So Barry is a Special Olympics PE teacher in the local school district, and he runs a Special Olympics program there. So we're gonna whatever money that we end up having, we're gonna give there. Plus, there are Lonestar Paracon T-shirts that are going to be made by Barry. You can explain it better, but there's a group of special needs students, and that's what they do is they learn how to like operate businesses. And they learn how to you have
Oh,
jobs
I
and things like
love
that.
that.
So
Yeah, we
they're
have a
making T-shirts.
so when you turn
That's
18,
great.
you can either graduate your special education, you either graduate, it's like a traditional graduation, or you stay in what's called the 18 plus program. It's another
Mhm.
four-year program. You can stay until you're 22. And it's a vocational program. They teach you job skills. They teach you how to do resumes. They teach you how to live on your own. It's kind of like this life skills thing.
I think
And
we all
those
ought to
guys
have that, to be honest with you.
they started a shirt making business. They have heat presses and the whole 9 yards. And I thought, hey, I don't want to mess with t-shirts. I don't want to do it. So I threw the idea to them. They jumped all over it. So we
I
have the
love
t-shirts
that.
ordered. We have all the decals, and they're just going to get them. They're going to press them, and they're selling them at the event. They're going to have a booth there, and every bit of the money they make from the shirts is going right to their program, which
Oh,
helps
great.
with
Oh,
other
lo-
vocational type stuff. So we'll have Special Olympic athletes there. We'll have Special Olympics Texas. They have a booth. They'll be there. So it's like I said, it's for a good cause. We are not making a dime from this event. Everything we make profit wise will go to Special Olympics. So
I
come
love
on out.
that.
It's
I
free
think
and
you
it's for a
guys are
good cause. You
awesome.
have no excuse not to go.
I think it's great. I think it's great. And I hope people will show out. I mean, shirts, that's not far from San Antonio, obviously. It's got to be pretty close.
About 10 minutes from city limits.
Yeah. So, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
there's
wow.
people around. It's not like you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's going to
Oh,
be.
no, it's a big city. This
Where we live,
suburb.
church, Universal City, Live Oaks. We are in a
100,000 plus.
Oh,
huge
okay.
area. We're talking thousands upon thousands of people
Yeah.
live in this area. It's almost like if you didn't know anybody, you think you were still in San Antonio. You never left
Oh,
San
wow.
Antonio.
Gotcha.
So it's right on 35, which connects Austin and Dallas, and right on the highway. So we have a huge population around here that could come to this thing.
That's great.
I'm excited. I've never been to Texas. It's my first time, so I can't wait.
First
You've never
timer.
been to Texas, huh?
Never been to Texas? No.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm having okay, so settle a little private dispute. Do I need cowboy boots or not?
No. We all own cowboy boots, but we don't wear them. So.
Yeah, you'd fit in if you had them. I mean, everyone has them for sure.
Everyone has them, but not everybody wears them. So, but I tell you what, in the wintertime, you'll fit right in wearing cowboy boots.
Okay, good, because I don't get an opportunity to wear them too much.
Yeah,
That's
bring them on
that's the thing about the weather in January around here is that you roll the dice. It could be 80 degrees. It could be 30 degrees. We don't know.
Oh, wow. We'll have to watch the weather.
Dana, what are you telling me no for? Dana's in the comments saying no. That's not a word I understand.
No cowboy boots.
No, you asked if it's a thing. It's not really. I mean, in my circle, no, I don't hang out with.
It depends on who you are. I mean, I have a circle of friends,
or what you're
ranchers and
doing,
farmers,
or whatever. The very next
wear cowboy
month,
hats and boots every day.
the week or two after the event is our rodeo. Every February is our rodeo, and then you can wear. Everyone's got cowboy boots and cowboy hats,
but you are required to have some sort of insignia of Texas on you at all times. That's a law.
I'll make a note.
Duly noted.
Right now.
Yeah. I bought my boots last time I was in Dallas, and of course, then I went back to New England with them and finally gave them away because you can't.
You
wear
were
them
laughed
here.
at, right?
They just laugh at you. That's it. But they look so good in Dallas. I don't know. Yeah. So, and then Friday night? No, Saturday night. There's the investigation. Now that's all sold out too.
That is sold out.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's at an old theater, an old 40s theater in Seguin, Texas. It was about 20 miles from Shirts. We've investigated a whole bunch. It's got a lot of activity there. We got about 35 people going there, and we kept the numbers small. When I say sold out, we're not packing 100 people in there to kind of sit around shoulder to shoulder. You're literally going to have the chance to investigate and do it in a nice, confined, small group way. But yeah, that's it's called the Palace Theater. There's a little bit of a video, I think, on our website about that as well. That you can actually book that yourselves. If people are interested, you can go through us, and you can actually rent out the place for your own group
for private.
Same with the Beauregard
Mansion. Yeah, you can rent that out as well.
That place looks gorgeous. I can't wait to see it.
It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place.
And you guys did a great video that goes into the history of the location, because there's been several confirmed deaths there.
Yeah. And what's funny is Barry and I were the actual ones that uncovered all of the history of that place. They didn't even know it. See, it's owned by some guy in Ireland who uses it when he comes to town for what he has business in San Antonio. So whenever he comes to town, he stays there, right?
Mhm.
Well, all the other times it's just managed by a company who they just kind of, the upkeep, make sure that it doesn't burn down, and the mail is kept and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they would have guests spend the night there, and more times than not, they would be leaving in the middle of the night, telling
Really?
them, X, Y, and Z happened. My hair was pulled. I saw this thing, and they left, and they had no idea why. So they asked, I'll forget how you met him, Barry, but
Well, his wife was a teacher with my wife.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's her husband. That's how we hooked up.
And so whenever people they go, oh, you're the Klinge Brothers, right? You're the ghost hunting guys. Can you have them come down and so we did. We went down and checked it out, and we were there 5:00 in the afternoon, and some major stuff happened. So we started looking up, and we found out all the history about the two confirmed deaths in the house. One was a child labor death, and the other one was a suicide, gunshot to the head, and the same family. No one knew that, but it's right there in the records that we pulled up, and it was just bizarre. But yeah, we have access to that house to be able to rent it out to other people for the entire weekend for really, really cheap too, for a mansion.
Really cheap.
So, if you're interested, you can go on our website and like you can email us about the mansion if you want to book it. If you're interested, we've had people come from all over the United States to come down there and check it out and stay there. Plus, like Barry said, not only is it a haunted mansion, you get that experience, but it's in a real trendy area where you can walk around the corner and go to a Mexican restaurant or a bar or things like that. So it's really, really cool location.
We need to plan another trip.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, what months do I have open? Yeah.
Right. I'm telling you. Yeah, and you get kind of tired of being in the Northeast. I mean, everything is different out here. It's okay. I mean, we have places, but it's nice to get out somewhere else and experience things you've not seen before.
Well, fingers crossed that there's no bad weather up where you're at and nobody can get here. That's why we're bringing everybody, all of our guests, and that we're flying them here a day early just in case we have issues or whatever. So I don't think the problem will be here. We might have a problem elsewhere, but hopefully it all works out. Fingers crossed.
I'm flying on Thursday. And I'm hoping, because really nothing starts until late Friday. So I'm hoping, if I can get out on Thursday, and if I start looking at the weather, I'll leave Wednesday. You get the show on your own on Wednesday. That reminds me, are you? We got to talk about this. Here. Yeah, she's driving. She's not going to be doing a show on Wednesday.
No, Apollo's going to drive. Yeah, they don't let me drive.
Driving.
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, my fellow sister Kathy is coming, and we're gonna road trip it. It's gonna take us like 2 days to get there, so it's gonna be fun. I'm sure there'll be lots of interesting stories from that trip.
It's a long drive. I mean, it's a full solid 2 days from here. I considered it, but I can't drive alone for 2 days in the car, 2 or 3 days. I don't think I would want to do that.
Yeah, we're down here in Texas. It's 1,000 miles east to west and 1,000 miles north to south. Yep. So once you hit the Texas border from where you're coming, from the north, you still have another 6-hour drive before you get down to where we're at.
Yeah, it's almost like driving from Massachusetts to Florida. Really down the whole eastern seaboard. It's crazy. It's a big state.
And here I thought driving across Tennessee was a lot, but no, Texas is
way bigger.
Got it.
My son's is in Dallas, Fort Worth, and I said, why don't you come out and, because we haven't seen each other in forever. And so I think she's going to come. I mean, she's talking about wanting to be there. She says, well, it's like 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. That's not bad. I'm like, geez.
Well, she can get in for free.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Right. It's a deal.
Yeah, we compare everything to drive distance. We say, how long does it take? Well, that's like driving from here to Houston. Or that's like driving from here to Dallas. And people, we know exactly how long that takes when you say that.
Yeah, this will be fun, though. This will be fun. And then everything wraps up. So the convention's just one day. The Paracon's just that one day. The investigation at night. Then you've got the Beauregard event on Sunday.
Right.
Sunday.
And that's it. And that's it.
So and the hours on the vendor is 9 to 6 is the vendor hall. 8 to 9 will be the VIP admission. And then we also have at the very end of our speaker, which is another ticket, is our friend Dakota Lawrence, who's a psychic medium. He's from Shreveport, Louisiana. he's going to be here. He's going to do a gallery reading, and those tickets are on sale for his gallery. He'll be the very last slot on the speaker slot, but it takes a $50 ticket to go to his gallery reading. So he'll also have a booth. You can meet him, and he's a funny guy. He's been friends with us for a real long time. So
that's great.
We need to push those tickets as well. Hopefully next month we'll get them going. So
yeah,
and that has a separate link when you go to. So the website is www.
No, you just go. Yeah, just go. You don't have to have the W. It just says Klinge Bros, KlingeBros.com.
Yeah.
When you get on the main page, you'll see a bunch of event posters of all the different events we'll be at. Click on the Lonestar Paracon event, and you'll see all the tickets. Solstice Sisters, gallery reading. You'll see it sold out on the investigation.
No, I took the sold out ones down.
Oh, okay.
So the ones you see
has all the guest pictures and their bios and who they are. It has the hotel link on there. We might have to beef up. We've already sold like 30 rooms, something like that. So we're gonna put another block out there. But there's a link on that website to go and get the special discount rate.
Good. And
we put a lot of thought into this too, because when we go to conventions and they put us up in hotels, sometimes the hotel is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around. From this hotel, you can walk across the parking lot and go to a Chili's. You can walk across the parking lot and go to a Sonic or a Schlotsky's. There's
Savannah, Bill Miller Barbecue.
Everything is right
grocery store right there.
I love that because you're right. Many times these places and they're in the middle of nowhere and there's absolutely nothing and there's no DoorDash. So what do you do?
It's right down the street from the convention, so it's about 2 miles maybe at the most.
Yeah, it's a drive, but it's not. It's same city, same area.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's parking at the conventions. I mean, like plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking. It's a huge parking area. And the convention center is, I don't know, 10 years old. I mean, it's not very old. It's a nice place. We're gonna have full audio visual, all the gadgets in the speaker area. We're gonna have it's very comfortable. All the vendors will have their own tables. We just bought 60 like fitted tablecloths for every table. We got pipe and draping. It's a professional looking event. Hopefully, when you walk in, if nobody comes, at least it's gonna look good.
We'll take pictures.
It's going to be great.
I'm sure it'll be great, though. I'm sure it'll be great. In Texas where you are, do they, you talk about your friend doing a gallery reading. Is that a big thing? I mean, do people go to those things regularly, or is that sort of less common?
Around here, not really.
No.
We have talk about Phantom Fest back in the day when we did that. We actually had Chip Coffey was here. He did a gallery reading. It went over really well. But usually with galleries, it's always like if someone comes here for an event, you don't really see a lot of that around here. They do have metaphysical shops in town, and it is a thing, but you just don't see those types of events or down here at all.
It's really interesting because like where I am now, I've got several of them booked, gallery events that I've got booked, and you'll sell 50, 60 tickets to something like that. But then you go to Pennsylvania and, so my tickets run between 40 and 60, depending upon like if you're a VIP or if you're just a, general admission kind of thing. But if you go to Pennsylvania, I'm doing Haunted Hillview Manor in June, and they get like $25 a ticket because they can't sell them because people don't pay money for those.
It's like that. It's like that with us. We'll go do an event and price it what we think is right, and it just sells out. We'll go do another event. It might even be cheaper, and it doesn't do nothing. I mean, it's the flavor of the month, and it's just the people. You just cannot read people's minds about what they want to do or what they want. And like they said, the Galveston event, we had one out there, and I won't say canceled. We're going to postpone it, but we sold like one ticket, and it's a very, very. And we sold, I don't know, 40, 50 tickets last year to Galveston. But it was just you got it's a science
year around Christmas and things like that. People, they're
it's a real science to do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Oh, sorry, Christina. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I just said you guys really know how to put on an event. I was at the Shenandoah event last June and was just blown away. I mean, you lay everything out and there's tons of stuff to do. Food is always fabulous. The guests are fabulous. And I absolutely adore that you're not packing in as many bodies as you can shove into a location. It's just the right number where you keep it small enough where everybody can interact. You can interact with your celebrities, which is always, I mean, that's what a lot of people come out for, is to spend some time and rub elbows with these people and get to know them a little bit. And you guys actually provide an opportunity to do all of that in a smaller environment. And I love that.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that you thought that Shenandoah last year was small, because Barry and I actually thought that was big. We're cutting that in half this year.
Oh
So
my
Wow.
it's going
gosh.
to be half the amount of people that you were last year, and we're going to be
And
doing
we're actually
different
doing
things.
more. We're doing
Yeah.
more this year with less people.
I can't wait. I loved that. I talked to everybody with ears about that event. I had so much
It
fun.
was a cool event. That was our first. We've been there before, but just as tourists. And that's when we got the idea. We met the owner, and they were all over. Hey, let's do this, and it was probably our best event we've ever done. That's why we're like, we're
Really?
doing it again. So this June 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're going to be back at Shenandoah in Gordonsville doing it again. We have this time Tim Shaw's going to be there again. We have Richard Eastep coming this time with us.
Nice.
We're only doing
Awesome.
one tour bus, not two tour buses. We're going to 3 different battlefields versus 2. We have an investigation at the Exchange Hotel, Saturday night's
I'm really
party
looking
ticket.
forward to that.
And then we haven't even announced this yet, but the Thursday night prior, we're actually going to investigate Trevilian Station battlefield, which is where one of the largest cavalry battles happened. George Custer was
George
actually
Custer's
there.
headquarters. Yeah.
So we actually have access to
Oh, wow.
George Custer's headquarters house to investigate, as well as
That's
the grounds.
cool.
So that's going to be an extra ticket. I think it's like a $65. We haven't really priced it, but it's $65. We're only taking 20 people on that one.
Isn't Gypsy coming out with us on this one too?
Yeah, Gypsy Jewel, who's a good friend of ours. Nobody really knows who she is. She'll be at our January event. She is a metal detecting expert. She's been on Oak Island show. She's been on the different other shows as an expert. She lives here in Texas. We've done a couple of events with her. She's actually coming out there to join us and just kind of talk about what she does, finding relics and things like that. She's also into the paranormal. So she's going to be there with us this time, joining us. So it's going to be fun. I hate to do it to people. I feel bad, but we jam pack a lot of stuff in a very small amount of time. So it's go. But while we're there, we want to take advantage of all these things. Like we're going to Wilderness Battlefield, Spotsylvania Battlefield, Chancellorsville Battlefield. This time food won't be as foo-foo. It won't be as Brad and I are actually going to get the aprons on, and we're grilling dogs and burgers for everybody. So
there's the hot dogs.
Yeah, there's the hot dog. Yeah.
There's a hot dog, yeah.
We're going to do it upright and cook for everybody and kind of make it more
great.
of a barbecue, backyard barbecue type of feel.
Oh, I love
We'll
that.
still have access that night. You can still investigate the 1700s mansion that was there on the property.
Oh, that place was great.
Yep. So that's all available to us as well. So there's a lot more investigations this time around, in a few more battlefields. So but less people. So
now, is that still on sale? I mean, is there still
it's
tickets
on sale?
available?
You can go to. It's called Shadows of Shenandoah. There's a poster on our website, klingebros.com.
Yeah.
We only have about 20 left. We already sold 20. We're shooting for 40, but we might stop at 30. I don't know. We kind of have a break-off point to maybe break even, but 40 is the max. Last year we had 85.
Oh wow!
85 people there.
Seem like that. It really.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because you guys had to split up into 2 buses.
Yeah, we had 2 buses.
We traveled,
Yeah.
and
it wasn't hard. It was
layout.
it wasn't bad, but it's easier to manage with just a smaller group, and you just, like you said, you just get more out of it. I love talk. If I could be another job, I'd be a tour guide. That's what I want to do, a Civil War tour guide, and I that's my moment, is doing the tours and stuff that we do, because of course my grandfather fought in those battles, and that's kind of where we tie that personal touch into those tours.
Really
we're actually going to where
cool
they fought. So
is Tim Shaw.
Yeah.
Was it his grandfather?
Yeah, you were with us, remember? Yeah.
Yeah. So they faced each other on the battlefield.
Yeah. So
face
the Wilderness,
face to face, line to line.
Yeah, Wilderness Battlefield. If you've ever been there, there's an area there where a lot of it happened, and we found out through the ranger and through just research, his grandfather was on one side, my grandfather was on the other side, and they were literally in the front line of those sides, and were literally shooting at each other. In fact, his father-in-law or his grandfather was wounded. He took a musket ball right in the belt buckle. He actually has the belt buckle. That could have my grandfather could have shot that. We don't know. It is possible.
Right.
So it's just bizarre. We found that out while we're there. So it's like, whoa,
that's wild.
Yeah.
It was really kind of emotional to watch as you guys talked about where and went to the spots on the field, and it added an extra element.
Yeah, we're just totally into the family thing, and just to stand where our grandfather stood 160 years ago is pretty. I mean, right where he stood, not just he's in this area. No, he stood right here. So it's pretty cool.
Amazing.
I also found out on that trip my wife's grandfather fought. She was also Confederate. He fought in the same field on the opposite side of my grandfather. So here we are. My wife's grandfather's there. My grandfather's there. Tim Shaw's grandfather. We're all there. We're all having a good time. And we're going to reenact that battle. We're going to shoot each other next. When we go next.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. It seems like though
the implications of it, though, if you think about it, the implications is one bullet to the head. We're not here.
We're not there.
And something like that. And it's like the butterfly effect of all of that is surreal.
It really is. I mean, when you look at the big picture and then meeting and coming together. So not only are you here, but meeting and going back basically through time to walk on the field where everything took place. It was crazy.
Mm. And I've never been.
I've never been. You're going in June.
I need to. Well, the only reason I haven't booked my ticket yet is because I get back from Pennsylvania. I have the event on the 1st, and I supposedly have another event on the 7th in Maine. But it's not gone out. It's not gone up for sale yet, and it could be moved at this point. You know what I mean? It could be moved at this point. So
you need to cancel it.
I need to cancel it.
I can say for a fact you'd have a lot of fun on this trip.
I'm sure I would. I'm sure I will. I do need to. I need to reach out to Chris and the guy that the other medium and I'm doing the event with, and just see if we can move it another week or two.
Yeah, there's no excuse because I think the week or so after that, Brad and I, it hasn't really been announced. We're going to Australia. Yeah, we're heading to land down under for an event. So
good for you.
Spill the tea. Tell us all about it.
I don't have the tea. I don't have the tea to spill yet. The guy doing it. We went there about 8 years ago. We did an event there, and we made good friends with this guy. He'll be there. He'll be at the event in January. Him and his wife.
Oh, great.
His name's Bill Tabone. His wife's also a psychic medium. She does a lot of police work and stuff in Australia. But he's gonna. We're working out we already got the dates. We already got the locations.
Nothing's been announced or set in stone.
Nothing's been announced. But we are. I would say 95% going to Australia in late June.
Yeah, you got no excuse, Scott.
No, I don't. Well, and I'm going to be in Naples in February, and then we're off to New Orleans right afterwards. So I do have a 10-year-old at home I have to tend to once in a while.
Still have a little food and water.
You're fine. Yeah, food and water is good.
Cat, that's it. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
My youngin' turned out fine. They eventually just grow up and leave. So
a box of Cheez-Its and a case of soda.
That's it.
There you go.
I think Playboy magazine, and you're all set.
Oh, God,
maybe not yet, but another couple of years, I guess. So, I don't know.
Oh my God, I can't take you anywhere.
No, not usually. Not usually. We have a good time though. We have a good time. Yeah, because I actually said to Christina, I said, "Why don't you come with me to Pennsylvania, and then we'll just keep driving. We'll go to Shenandoah right afterwards."
I'm getting a visit from Dana and Rowan,
which I didn't realize at the time. Yeah, that's all right. I need to get home in between anyway. It's a long.
I think Rowan's looking forward to my fried chicken anyhow. So.
Yeah, what's cool about that event up there is not just our event. Like we hung over. We took the whole family last summer, and we went to Washington D.C. We
nice.
Went to, all the different. Was it Madison? What house we go to?
Yeah, Monticello.
Monticello,
and we just did a lot of like touristy stuff around that we never really get to see while we're there because you're in the hub. You talk about history.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of every Revolutionary War.
I went to Yorktown.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things to do.
There really is. I know we did that. We took a day and hit a couple of the historic sites around there. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm terrible with history, and I won't even pretend to know where I went. So, because I'd just humiliate myself if I tried to say. But it was really, really awesome just to see the history and how well it's preserved. That's really cool.
Yeah. I went to Monticello and Washington's house and wherever
Mount
that is.
Vernon. We went
Yeah,
there.
Mount Vernon. Yeah, I've done that, but I was probably like 10 or 12. So I don't none of that really had the same
Probably
meaning.
hasn't changed very much since it's been there since the 1700s.
No, Washington's still dead. That
Yeah.
hasn't changed at all. But no, but I mean, as an adult, I think you can appreciate it more and the significance of it, and certainly the
That's
haunted
my
part of
dad's
it.
joke. He said, "You know why Washington was buried on a hill?
Why?
Because he's dead."
Because he's
I love dad jokes. I could listen all day.
yeah, my son not so much.
Something I've always wondered, how did you guys get started in all of this? Because we all have an origin story.
That's Brad's story.
Well, how much time we got? Let's see how quick.
13
I've
minutes.
told this story a million times. Barry knows it, but I can hear him telling the same story almost verbatim to other people. But it starts back officially when I was like 17 years old. And I was at Gettysburg, of all places. And this is why we're so fascinated with Gettysburg. But it was in the summer. It was the summer between my junior and senior year in high school. I was the last of 4 kids. I'm the youngest. Barry was in the Navy in Miami at the time, down in Homestead. So my parents go, "Hey, let's do a round the country road trip. We'll wander down to Homestead. Eventually, we'll visit Barry. We'll come back home. You'll start your senior year, whatever." I said, "Cool." I'm a big history buff, so we stop at all the historical places along the way. Gettysburg and Philadelphia and Williamsburg and like all that kind of stuff. Well, the Gettysburg trip, we were on our way out of town. It was in the middle of the day, in July, clear blue skies, probably noon or 1 o'clock. So it's not like it was nighttime or anything. And I see this group of Union soldiers like cruising across the field. So I tell my dad, say, "Hey, stop the truck. Let me jump out. I'm going to go." I had the big VHS video camera. So I'm going to go videotape them because I was kind of doing like a video log of the whole trip. And so I got out there and I start filming. And then as soon as I pass them by, they're gone on the video, like through the video screen. And you go like this, they're gone. And I go back and I'm looking and they're nowhere to be found. There's nowhere they could have got on my side. I look back on the videotape on the little playback and sure enough, they're there. So at that moment I was like, okay, there's no way that could have happened. It's my personal proof of the paranormal. We get down to Miami. I show Barry. Barry's kind of like, "Oh, that's cool." And so for the next, I don't know, 10 or 15 years, I start researching a lot of the stuff. Then when I get into college, after I graduated from college, I get a job where I travel a little bit. So every city I go to, I went on a little like local ghost tour that they had, and or a historical tour. I was in San Francisco, so I went out to Alcatraz on an evening tour, and I stopped at a Radio Shack along the way, and I got a little digital audio recorder because the TV shows were just starting to come out at that time. It was around 2005, 2006, and maybe a little bit earlier. But anyway, as luck would have it, I was able to be in the solitary confinement area by myself because there was a problem with the boat. And so everyone was down at the dock, but the Rangers let me stay up and just like kind of cruise around. I did recordings, and it was, on 3 recordings in the same session, I got 3 different things. I got these voices that were coming across, and I'm thinking to myself, this is too easy. This is too easy. I don't know what this is, the magical little digital recorder. I don't know what was happening. I showed Barry, he was hooked. And I said, "Hey, let's go out and let's investigate some places around here and do that kind of stuff." He had the digital video camera. I had the audio recorder. That was it. We were out and investigating. We brought some of our friends together. We formed the Everyday Paranormal team. And then months later, we were doing museums and television stations, and word got out of what we were doing around here. and then that the TV caught wind, and that whole story is history. But we literally formed in 2007, October 2007, and we were on TV. We had the deal. We were approached first.
April 2009 is when we signed the
April
deal.
2009, but July 2008. So from October 2007, we were contacted for the television stuff by the producers in July 2008. So that's it.
Wow.
It was a whirlwind of.
Wow, that is a whirlwind.
Yeah.
But there wasn't as much out there back then. Not like there is now. You know what I mean?
We were the original four of the major networks. So there was Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi. There was Ghost Adventures on Travel Channel. There was Paranormal State on A&E, and there was us on Discovery. Those were the four shows.
And I watched all four.
Yeah, because back
you
then,
were part of
the
well, I
OG.
was just gonna say, what's
the
that?
OGs of the Paranormal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, back then, I remember, talking with someone who did this, back probably right in that period of time. And I don't think there were really places to go that you could rent out to go and investigate. I think people used to sneak into buildings and, or if they were lucky enough to find
A
someone.
lot of cold phone calls and a lot of people. Hey, I know this guy that knows this other
Yeah.
guy. That that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah,
See, for me, my
different.
first love was residential work. Is what I loved. I didn't get into, doing like the prisons and the big asylums and stuff like that until many, many years later. So, but
We
residential.
got some of our coolest stuff from homes.
Yeah, we did a lot of houses. And we still do them from time to time. We just did a house a year ago here in church. So they still pop up every once in a while.
Do you
guys
have
still
a
do
system
some residential work?
Yeah. It's
How do you
not,
do
we're
that?
not out like seeking it or looking for it, but like, we had a realtor friend that was having problems with the house he was renovating. He got a hold of me, and we went out there, just me, Brad, and my wife, and Lisa from our group, and we just put our cameras up. We left for like 2 hours and went to dinner. And came back and did some other work. Really, nothing was going on, but we caught a pretty cool shadow figure on the camera when we were gone. Nobody was in the house, so that's how we roll. We just. We throw out the cameras and we go eat Mexican food and come back and find stuff.
There you go. There you go.
And we were just out at an abandoned hospital a couple of weeks ago. Someone hired us for their birthday party. They wanted to go down there and have a ghost experience, and we met them down there.
So
and we went to this
what was it that y'all
hospital.
said that y'all were doing? Because I actually laughed so hard that Sprite came out my nose. I was watching your live. I think you guys referred to yourselves as the birthday ponies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
like
love
do
that.
this dog and
They were
pony
really
show.
Yeah, they were really nice people, and they just they see the TV shows and they just don't know what to do. In fact, they thank us profusely by saying, man, we would not have known to do half the stuff. They would have gone into that abandoned hospital and just sat there and go, I don't know what to do.
I'm freaked out. Yeah.
There's like an official playbook of what to do, but there's a method to the madness sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It was a typical investigation. It wasn't like a bunch of stuff. We had a few occurrences, a few weird things happened that they were
things like that. Yeah,
but it was just, I told this is a typical investigation. This is this is how it goes. It's pretty boring, and then it a couple of minutes of excitement, and then that's it.
Yeah, sometimes it's the spook factor. You know what I mean? Just what are you going to see? It's wondering what you're going to see.
It's a spooky place. It's an old Catholic run hospital. The nuns live there and the priests live there, and it's pretty spooky.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool though, from the pictures that you guys shared and everything.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Great. That's great. So we have about 5 minutes left, believe it or not. Time flies here when you're having a good time. So we want to make sure people know how they can get your events. Klinge Bros, KLINGE bros.com. And is everything there? So Shenandoah is there, and the Lonestar Paracon is there, and
everything's there.
Might have coming up.
And we even have merchandise that we have hats and beanies and decals we sell. There's also we'll be at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We'll be at the Paracon up at
that's right
in Ohio in May.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's on our website. You can go there and buy tickets for that. Of course, our Shenandoah events there, and of course our Lonestar Paracon. So yeah, it's a one-stop shop. Everything that we do, we put on our website. We do it all as well on Facebook, but we get more traffic on our website than anything. So we like to keep it updated. Brad handles all that stuff. But yeah, anything and everything you want to know we're doing, you just go to KlingeBros.com.
When is Gettysburg? Do you know?
Gettysburg Bash is the last weekend of July, I believe.
Okay, I was going to say I thought it was over the summer.
Yeah, it's July 27th or something like that. We might even go a little earlier, maybe do some our own personal stuff while we're there, and then we'll do the event. So we've never done that event before, but looking forward to it. That's another charity event.
Is it? Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, they sponsors, I think, Wounded Warriors, veteran type stuff.
Oh, good.
I love
Steve Barry and Pamela Barry. They're the ones that run it, and we've been to a couple. We've been to the Lookout House they used to own. We did an event there. We've been to the Hoover House, which is about 40 minutes from Gettysburg. We did an event there, so they're very steeped in the paranormal.
Didn't you just do an event there not long ago?
Yeah, we were there. Dana was there. Yeah, Dana was there.
Yeah,
we did that back in, and Tim Shaw was there, and we did the whole 3-day battle, like tour on a bus. And then we actually did an experiment. We did an audio experiment on Pickett's Charge. And then we came back that night and went over our audio. We actually caught musket fire that Tim Shaw actually was shouting commands. And on command, we got really heavy musket fire. So it was a successful event and a successful experiment. And everyone had a great time. And that was another one. We only took 20 people. We sold 20. That's it. We stopped it at 20 people.
I find that fascinating, though. I've heard that, the Phantom Fire.
We have cannon fire. We've caught the Rebel Yell on audio.
Really?
We've caught drum beats on audio. We get a lot of stuff at Gettysburg. That's kind of what started the whole finding our relatives was from paranormal investigating in Gettysburg. We caught something at Devil's Den.
Well, the grandfather from Virginia, he fought in Gettysburg as well, and that's where we first found out that we even had a grandfather that fought.
Yeah, we caught some stuff at Devil's Den, which is one of our favorite places, and we kind of find out that's where he fought. He was at Devil's Den. That's where he was at. So
it kind of just surprises me, and I was saying it before, that it's your grandparents. I mean, I think of my grandparents, now I'm almost 60. My grandparents were in the
it's my three times great grandfather.
Oh, now that makes complete sense to me. Okay. All right.
I'm not that old. I'm not 100 years old.
And I'm thinking, how
my grandfather was born in 1912, so he wouldn't get it.
Gotcha. I'm like, man, either that or
third great grandfather.
Third great.
On my mom's side.
That makes complete sense. Okay, got it. Because I'm thinking your
Scott, I'm 100
grandfather
years
must
old.
have married a 15-year-old.
My grandfather's 180 years old now.
Yes.
You can see him January at the Lonestar Paracon.
Oh my god. Yeah, Dana just said Barry and Brad are
150s.
They were in our not our 50s, our 150s.
Yeah.
I mean, math is not my strong subject, but I gotta, I'm adding it up, and
it comes up well. I don't know if it's the Botox or what, but you look fabulous.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
You look a day over 130.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm telling you.
Always a fun time with you guys.
But hey, if you're coming to Lonestar Paracon, Scott's going to be there. He has a booth, and the Solstice Sisters, they all have their booths, and they'll be doing things. And the Solstice Sisters Sunday, we want to sell out those tickets as well because it all goes to a great cause. So get your tickets. If you don't want to buy a ticket, just come on down and enjoy the day.
And say hello. Absolutely. And then check out some of the other events too. I got a call about that date in June. See if I can.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, we're gonna guilt you into it. So
there's no guilt necessary. I definitely want to go. I
tell you, Deborah Wilson, our friend Deborah Wilson, is going to be there at the event in January.
Excellent.
She will make you buy a ticket. She's that good. She is relentless.
All right, guys. I got a hard wrap. Thank you for being here, everyone. Have a great night. We will see you next week. Re-recorded with Jeff Belanger. Thank you to the Klinge Brothers, and thank you, Christina. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
You've been listening to the Paranormal Project radio show with Scott Allen and Christina Bowen. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. While you're there, leave us a rating and review. We'll be back next week with more exciting guests. Now go out there and explore the paranormal.